Greeting Allis Chalmers fans. Today we're looking at a model 6060. This tractor is a 1981 model. It was purchased new by my father at the local implement dealer. It was Ladderback Implement. This tractor is approximately 63 horsepower at the PTO. It has a 200 cubic inch 4-cylinder turbocharged diesel motor. The motor is actually a offshoot of the model, or the 301 cubic inch 6-cylinder diesel motor. These motors actually were out in the 60s. The 6000 series was the first first tractor that used this engine. They previously used them in bulldozers and other construction type equipment. This tractor is equipped with 28-inch 18.4 rear tires. It has a 4-speed transmission with a high and low. It is synchronized between 3rd and 4th gear. This one has a ROPS on it. When we purchased it, it did not have a ROPS. So we added this later from a salvage tractor. It is, we do have a full set of suitcase weights on it. A little close up on the motor. These have hydraulic brakes on them. These are the best brakes I've ever used on a tractor. Previous series of Allis's I've used have the band style brakes. These were just so much better. The engine clutch is a dry clutch that has a independent PTO clutch. The PTO does run independently of the engine. What this happens is this is the master or disengage. So the engaged all the way forward is engage the PTO. Back is disengaging the PTO. On the 6000 series, when not in use, you need to have the PTO lever to the front in the engage spot. What happens is in the disengage position, that activates the clutch for the PTO and it puts pressure on the engine. It pushes the crankshaft forward, which over time will wear out the bearings on the engine and cause it to go forward. Now this is more of an issue on the 6080 series, as they have a more heavy duty clutch. They actually had a cap bearing on the front that helped keep it pushed back. We do not have that on ours. You could retrofit it to a 6060 series, but that would be located there at the front of the motor. This came out, I think, standard on the 83 or 84 models, and you could retrofit it to the older series. Like I say, this is a turbocharged motor. This is not intercooled. The 6080 series was intercooled. These have a plastic fuel tank. I think it's, I can't remember, 30-some gallons, I do believe, in it. It does have a heavy-duty hydraulic lift on it. A whole lot heavier duty than the other ones I've been used to. The rear end on these was actually a Fiat design. Allis Chalmers sourced these from Italy via Fiat, who supplied the transmissions. From there forward, everything else was an Allis Chalmers design. I guess Allis was having a hard time economically designing a transmission that could have live independent PTO instead of using a hand clutch type of assembly to engage or disengage it. This tractor, ease of maintenance. The side shields simply have latches on them, so the whole side shield just comes off very easily, easy to get into, to get the battery, any other maintenance on the tractor. A little bit up on the cab, it does have a nice seat. The controls are laid out very nicely. The 3-point controls, the draft controls, hydraulic lift are all there. Otherwise, you have the basic water temp, fuel, and RPM gauges here. Everything else is idiot light, such as engine oil pressure and such. The throttle lever is up here. The gear shift and the high and low is also mounted on the floor. Brakes, so again, are easy to use. People do complain about the gear shift being in the middle with your foot hitting it. I don't find it an issue, but it is there. Over on this side, down here, you have the handbrake to set your parking brake. And then this is to engage and disengage the PTO internally. So you would disengage your main lever here and then pull up on this. That engages your PTO drive. When you're ready to use your PTO implement, you simply let it forward slowly, and then that engages your PTO implement. If you had an emergency, you need to stop quickly, you just quickly grab and pull back. View for this, you had a pretty good view of the muffler over assembly. You had the dry air cleaner there. Most of this stuff's out of the way, but I find the tractor very comfortable, very easy to use. The model 6060 was supplanted, I think around 83 or so, by the 6070 series. Slight increase in horsepower, and they changed the transmission from a 2-speed high and low to a 3. So it had 3 low, medium, and high range. Still a 4-speed internally. This pretty much matched the 6080 series, which had that type of transmission in the beginning. I think there was also a creeper style transmission that was available if you had like vegetables or other kinds of slow speed use. You could get that. Also on these first small series Allis's that came with the differential lock. I know I think a 160 has a diff lock, but the 170, 175, or 185 series did not. You could get a 38-inch tire. I think it was a 15.5 38-inch on these. You don't see very many of those around. You also could get front wheel assist. I see those around a few times. Most of those I see with loaders. So people that had loaders used the front wheel assist for better traction. I have used a 6080 with a loader 2-wheel drive, and it definitely needs front wheel assist for a lot of that stuff. You get a heavy load on the front. The rear end is pretty light. This one does have float in the tires. They did have standard weights. We do not have. But it is hooked to a 4-basket hay tedder here that I'm using today. That in a shelf, that's a quick overview of an Allis Chalmers model 6060.